Hello, Eric. Thanks so much for taking the time. So just tell us about your new piece for Collage. How did the piece come about? And what's the instrumentation?
Um, well, I have a series of pieces that sort of deal with the corporate world and capitalism. And I think that it actually came about when I got the idea for the piece when I was opening something from my health insurance company that was titled Explanation of Benefits. And I thought about it for a minute, and what I realized is it's not an explanation of things that benefit me. They were going to tell me all the stuff they weren't going to pay for. So, so then I started thinking about other corporate actions along those lines, and I thought about job interviews.
Mhm.
And my favorite question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's a classic job interview question, but it's it's a question that they want to corporations when they're asking it. There's a specific answer they want, and it has nothing to do with what the person being asked might actually honestly answer. um, Generally speaking, and that seems to be true of all the kinds of questions that they ask.
Mhm.
Um, what's your greatest weakness? That's another classic question. So, when the answer you're supposed to give is, "Oh, I just work too hard," or I have trouble detaching myself from work, getting myself home at the end of the day. Whereas what you would really say is, I have difficulty motivating myself to do a corporate job. So anyway, I started thinking about these questions and how the real answers to them are actually very difficult to answer, particularly the title question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I thought it would be interesting to write a piece where these questions get posed both to the audience, to the musicians, to the piece itself, to the composer of the piece,
Mhm.
and to have all of these flavors sort of active in an unpredictable piece of music. So, and I love the way Collage plays, and I just wanted to write for the ensemble.
Do you see this piece as a response to the question, or it's part of the question?
Yeah, I guess that's a good question. I do see it as a response, but it's a kind of thumb your nose response to it, because I don't think it's a question any of us are prepared to answer. I mean, it's too frightening a question
Right.
now in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
and there's things we hope will happen.
Right. The title is very curious, and I'm really looking forward to hearing it. I'm also wondering, have you composed work with the same instrumentation before, or this is completely new?
I've written for pieces with similar instrumentation. I'm not sure it's, yeah, I mean, it's a sort of a standard, the world's smallest orchestra
Right.
kind of instrumentation. Um, so, yeah, the big addition here is the using an actual sampler to trigger speech
Oh, I
in the
see.
course of these questions get asked literally in the course of the piece.
Oh, I see. I don't know that. So electronics, there's electronics involved in the piece.
A minimal role, yes,
Hmm.
but a minimal but important role, yes.
I see. I see. Oh, the only thing I know about the piece is the title, so I know nothing about the piece yet. Um,
Yes.
so I also want to ask if there are any specific things that you'd want the audience to hear in this piece. For example, a motive or a specific idea that recurs, or anything that stands out besides the idea of the question being asked.
Well, the piece does make extensive use of the first four notes that the piano plays.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it is, in a way, it's a very sort of classical piece. There's a motive that really is pervasive throughout, and it's easy to remember, and I think appears in many different guises.
Hmm.
So it sort of reveals itself. Ha! It's me again.
Fascinating.
At
So
first.
there's this
So,
transformation of the motive happening.
yeah,
Nice. Okay, I guess. And how long is the piece?
it's a substantial piece. It's about 18 minutes, I think.
Oh, wow. And it's a single movement.
Single movement.
Great.
It contains a lot in it. I mean, it sort of has a lot of the feelings that you would find in a multi-movement piece sort of packed into one thing.
Sure. Well, I think that's all. That's all the questions I have. And I'm really excited to hear this piece. I'm sure our
Me
audience
too.
will be too. So have you been at the rehearsals? Or they just started?
No, no. I will try. I'm going to get there just in time to hear one rehearsal, I think.
Mhm.
And then, but
Great.
but I have to finish a semester here in Pittsburgh.
Right. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, but I'm sure they'll do a great job. They're
I
really
am. I am.
yeah. Okay, then I guess I'll see you at the rehearsal or the concert.
Very good.
Thanks so
Lovely
much.
talking to you.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing the ideas behind the piece. And I'll see you soon.